Hi and welcome to this week's video. It is in fact a hair tutorial inspired by two things. Number one, Christmas parties. And number two, you all responded incredibly favorably to my hairstyle in last week's video, which was my top 10 girlfriend gift guide on a budget. And I'm honored and flattered that you like the new do with the bangs and the waves that I put in. So per request, I am here with a wavy, fun hair tutorial, which I think will work really well for a holiday party. It incorporates one of the latest trends, which is sort of that beachy wave, but the ends are a little bit straight. It's quasi-messy, quasi-controlled. It's a hybrid type of a hairstyle. Very, very simple to do. So I'm starting at scratch here. My hair has been blown dry and it is relatively straight, and I had to do that because with this particular style, you want the ends of your hair very smooth. And if I let my hair air dry, there would just be too much kink and curl going on. So I had to smooth it out. The bangs are pretty much straight. Let me turn around just so I can show you the nature of this cut. It is a bob, but with a lot of kind of choppy long layers. And that's really important when you want to get some curl and wave going on there. You need a little bit of a lift, because if you don't have layers in there, what happens, all of this sits very flat and then you get wide here at the ends. This way you get movement and you get some height. And I'm just one of those gals who likes to have height in her hair. So anyway, layers are long. It's a little bit shorter here at the crown. And then it has more layers in the back than say the front and the side. The bangs, as you know, I did myself. And I just sort of cut in a little triangle right here and did a little kind of side longish bang. So anyway, I'm dry. What I used to dry was the usual Got to Be Fat-tastic by Schwarzkopf for volume. I also used, because I'm having to use a lot of flat iron, curling iron to create this look, Got to Be has a product called Guardian Angel, and it's for those high heat styles, for flat irons that can get up to 450 degrees. This is a protectant, so before I blow dry, I spray it all over my hair, especially the ends, and in particular the blonde ones, because they struggle in high heat. And then next, I am going to do two things. First of all, I will grab a little brush right here. Now I'm going to create some lift so it's not so flat, and for that I've got my Velcro rollers on standby. So I'm going to take my hair, it's almost a center part, but in this case just a tad bit off center. And I'm going to go right here along the part line, maybe about 1 inch in thickness. And I'm just going to wrap this around the Velcro roller. You may not need to secure it. You may just pop in a little clip. I'm going to do the same thing. Okay, stinker, get over here. Okay. Yeah, okay, that's what little boys like to do in YouTube videos. Okay, you may be excused now that you've pretty much given me a heart attack.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Styles. Okay, so now you take the next section and you move on back and take that and wrap your hair around it and secure it. I wonder if Santa saw that. Too bad he doesn't believe in Santa anymore. Okay, let's see. Next section right here. And again, just going around the part line. Secure. And the same thing for this back section. And just lock it down. Now I'm going to hit just the root here with hairspray. And because I will curl these areas, but I'm just looking for a little extra volume at this point. So you take your blow dryer, high heat, and just warm the root. And that's it. And then you're going to let it cool, and we will save these guys for last. and curl them at the very end. Okay, moving on. I have a flat iron. This one's by Cloud9. I have it almost to the highest heat, but not quite. And then I have a Hot Tools curling iron, 1.25" barrel up to the highest heat. And you can, and I brought both out to show you that you can create this look with both a flat iron and a curling iron. The flat iron makes it just a little bit more modern in that, I'll show you. So you grip it here, you create a little bit of lift at the root, start pulling and twisting it through, and then you can leave your ends out just a tiny bit. And it's just more of a modern, kind of a wavy look with the ends that are straight, which is what's really popular these days. If that's just a little too messy for you and you like more of a controlled curl, just use your curling iron, same thing, lift it at the root, and then just pull it through. And then have your ends wrap around the barrel as well for a more curled type of a look. So anyway, it's up to you. I just wanted to present both options for you, and then you can choose which way you want to go. But the key here is you lift at the root, and that's where most of your heat is going, and then you just swivel it through and then release. And you're just going to section it off. I start with my upper layer, heat at the root, and then just keep twisting, pulling it through, and release. And then we're just going to let these cool. And I'm just going to work my way around my head. And you can also, with a curling iron, leave the ends out and create a similar look as well. So you just need to play around with it and find what style you like best. Right? Right. But I'm just, and actually it's interesting if you mix the two. You can do flat iron, curling iron, flat iron, curling iron, and then it's not so uniform. So I leave that up to you as well. But I like showing options. Every girl needs them. Okay, and then you just gently move those aside. Grab the under section, same, lift at the root, because again you do want to create some volume at the root. You don't want it to be just flat. Okay. And you can play around. You can do some forward, some backward. If your hair is longer, I would recommend that. I think that makes it more interesting as well. Doing it in different directions as opposed to one. You're a little bit more limited when it's shorter like this. So now with these under layers, it'll get tricky because you don't have as much hair to play with. So what I will do, for instance, you know, with this little section, I can try to get a little bend to it. And I may get a little bit there. But the under ones, I just sort of take them and I kick them out. Just kick them out. Gives a little bit more volume in the back, so the hair won't lay so flat against the nape of your neck. It makes it look like you've got bigger hair, which all of these waves in volume will most certainly create. So I'm just kicking ends out. Okay. I need to cheat, take a look at the back of my hair here. Make sure I don't have any holes in my head. Yep. All right. So now that these have cooled, the primary purpose was just to create volume at the root. So now you're going to take these out, and the ends of your hair will be straight because Velcro rollers aren't there to put curl in your hair. They're there to give you lift and volume. So now that you have these, you can either take your curling iron or your flat iron, whichever, and just roll them in the same direction that you have everything else going in. These front hairs I tend to roll back a little bit. Almost there. And with the top ones, I'm going kind of up at the crown and then rolling back. Okay, and then I'm going to let these guys cool before I touch it. And I need to grab one product, un momento. Okay, I'm back. Couldn't do it without my living proof amp to finish up the look. Okay, so at this point, before I even piece it out or do anything, I'm going to add even more volume. I'm going to make it huge, and then you can bring it down to whatever size you want. But you take a little bit of this product, it's kind of white and creamy, and I'd say no more than a dime size. I take it, rub it through the palms of my hands. You go upside down with this. You grab from almost the root and pull it straight out, because what you're doing is you're creating lift at the root line. So here we go. And we're almost there. And now I'm going to flip it back. And this is when you take your hands and you just start getting everything into place. I see you, Styles. He's trying to scare us again, but it won't work. Okay. And so this leaves you with that nice kind of beachy, messy wave. And you can even, your hands still have a little residual product. You can take it and just sort of scrunch it at the ends. And this is a good time to separate. So where you see you have, if you have highlights and lowlights, you can take your color and you can separate them to really showcase the contrast in your hair color. Get your bangs in place, get these guys going, and just sort of work around your hair. No brushes, no combs, no teasing, no nothing. You are simply using your hands at this point. And then when you get everything where you like it, you're just going to take your hairspray. Really? I had to shoot this video on a day he was home? I love you. Okay. Alrighty. So you take your hairspray and you hit it. You just hit it. But again, you see how sort of loose and wavy this is. It's a controlled, uncontrolled kind of a look, which is what makes it so modern. So just take it, and when you get things where you like it, hit it, spray from underneath, get hair in its place, and just knock yourself out. Okay, so I'm gonna turn around, and you can see, and you can play. I mean, you can play with part lines. You can do whatever you want. If you want more of a center part, you can do that. You know, these things are totally up to you. And you can also tweak. I mean, for instance, if I think this one's getting a little too crazy or sticking out too much, which it might be, I can take my flat iron and I can start to smooth it down. Or if it needs a little bit more of a twist, I can do that to get a little more curl in there. So you just kind of play with it as need be. There you go. A very fun party look for Christmas. Capitalizes on the bangs. You can do straight down, you can do to the side. Just play until your heart is content. Okay, so I hope I'm doing all right back here. I'm trying to cheat with this little back mirror, but I just sort of want you to see all angles of what's happening, and it's always best just to take your hand and pull, so we always get holes right in around here. So just take it and pull it, and that's it. And you are ready to go for any holiday party that might come your way. Or if you have a bob with bangs and you haven't quite ventured out into the wavy, messy look, well, I hope that this is an entree to a new look for you. And just play, experiment, have fun in your bathroom. That's how I got here, and that's how we all get here when it comes to finding our signature styles, whatever they may be. Anyway, comments and suggestions below. I hope you are enjoying December, getting ready for the holidays, and have all kinds of fun things planned, because that's what it's all about. It's about celebrating and being with family and enjoying the joy of the season. So go out this week, after you follow me on social media, please, and we stay connected. Be bold, be blessed, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.